Tyler, the Creator, is one of the most iconic hip-hop rappers in hip-hop today. For over a decade, his unique music has made a significant impact on the music industry, but what really sets him apart is his signature sound. So today we're gonna take a deep dive into Tyler's genius vocal production, from his vocal layering and texture choices to the effects and vocal chains that give his music production that raw emotional edge. And we're gonna create our own vocal chain inspired by a key Tyler album. There's a ton to unpack here and so many little gems you can apply to your own vocal production, so sit back and get ready to explore the unique world of Tyler, the Creator's creativity. Tyler, the Creator, is known for his unique sound over jazz chords and vintage soul samples.
You so motherfucking dangerous. You so motherfucking dangerous.
In this video, we're gonna go over how you can make your vocal vibe similar to Tyler's and how to build your own Tyler, the Creator style vocal chain like this.
Becoming fearless, saved the pain in me. Didn't help, passport stamps, had to leave. Came back with fire, all the smoke surrounding me.
So if you wanna build this vibe, make sure you stick around till the end of this one. Now, later in this video, we're gonna go over Tyler's plugin chain and how to build it for your own vocals. But to make this video as authentic as possible, we got an insider to explain Tyler's method, his engineer Vic Weinstein, who shared key details on how they mixed the album Igor. Before we dive into the vocal chain, there are some important details we need to understand about Tyler's production. First, let's confirm the DAW. Here is what Vic had to say.
Everything I work on ends up in Pro Tools. But Tyler's a Logic Pro guy, so the creative process starts there. We did all our production in that environment, then imported the tracks to Pro Tools.
So this means Vic, Tyler's engineer, uses Pro Tools, while Tyler uses Logic for production. To confirm this, Vic also said,
I built an I/O template in Console and made sure each channel from Logic was sent to its own dedicated track in Pro Tools.
I like both DAWs, but I'm gonna stick to Logic Pro since it's my preferred DAW. Now there is more. Vic mentioned,
When it was time to send tracks to the mixer, Neil Pogue, the sounds were completely dialed in and ready to go.
This means Neil was the final mix engineer, but Tyler and Vic set up the vocal chain and Vic also shared the plugins they used. However, before we get into that, there is one part of the vocal chain we need to consider, the instrumental. Here is what I mean. When they asked Vic if they had references for the album, here is what he said.
If you want a good reference for our creative direction on this record, think late 70s, early 80s punk rock records. Those aggressive walls of guitars that everything else had to fight through, that's exactly how we treated the synths.
If you listen to Tyler's songs, you will notice the instrumental is louder compared to traditional hip-hop tracks. The challenge here is to have clean vocals that are easy to understand as a listener, but still keep a prominent instrumental. With all this info, I picked up a track that has a similar vibe to Tyler's. Using the plugins and techniques they used for Tyler, the Creator, we're gonna create our own vocal chain from scratch. I'm only using Waves plugins to emulate the process, but you can use plugins from any developer with similar characteristics. Here is our song.
Becoming fearless, saved the pain in me. Didn't help, passport stamps, had to leave. Came back with fire, all the smoke surrounding me. Underboss became the
We've got a cool vocal sample and those signature synth vibes Tyler uses. The BPM is 90, which is perfect for his style of production. Now let's get into the most interesting part, the vocal chain itself. Vic listed a bunch of plugins that we're gonna analyze, but there is one important plugin he didn't mention. If you listen carefully to the album Igor, you will notice there are many different Tyler voices. The article didn't mention how they achieved this, but Vic did mention this.
I used the SPL Vitalizer MK2T on a lot of the pitch vocals.
The key here is pitched vocals. Listening to the album, I believe they used the Little Alter Boy to pitch the vocals. A great alternative is the Waves vocal bender. Here is what it does.
Becoming fearless, saved the pain in me. Didn't help, passport stamps, had to leave. Came back with fire, all the smoke surrounding me. Yeah.
I'll make this option available for you, but for now, I'm gonna turn this plugin off and process it like Tyler's normal vocal. Moving on to the juicy part of the vocal chain, here is what Vic said.
A typical vocal chain would look like this. Neve 1073 preamp and EQ collection, 610A or API Vision Strip preamp, then a Pultec EQP1A or FabFilter Pro Q3 EQ, and for compressors, a Rev A Blue Stripe 1176 or Fairchild 660.
Now this article is from Universal Audio and they listed a bunch of UAD plugins. I'm not saying that they are lying, but let's take it as a guideline instead of rushing to buy those plugins. We can emulate this with the Waves plugins we got here. Here is how I interpret this vocal chain. Tyler's main vocals have a heavily saturated character, so I will start with the Neve preamp, which is a popular choice for hip-hop artists. I'm using the Shep 73 to emulate that.
Fearless, saved the pain in me. Didn't help, passport stamps. Had to leave. Came back with fire, all the smoke surrounding me. Yeah. Underboss became the boss. Kobayashi. Origin story to free lunch, baby.
The normal preamp saturation sounds great for a start. Too much drive can get fuzzy and ruin the sound. To prevent that, Vic uses a subtractive EQ. He mentioned the Pultec or the Pro Q3. The difference is the Pultec adds color, while the Pro Q3 pretty much transparent.
Becoming fearless, saved the pain in me. Didn't help, passport stamps. Had to leave. Came back with fire, all the smoke surrounding me. Becoming fearless, saved the pain in me. Didn't help, passport stamps. Had to leave. Came back with fire, all the smoke surrounding me.
I prefer the Pro Q3, so I'm using the F6 as a Waves alternative. We still don't have full control over the dynamics, which is a problem. Vic said he uses the 1176 Blue Stripe or the Fairchild 660 on Tyler's vocals. Both are great compressors, so let's try both and pick one for this vocal.
Becoming fearless, saved the pain in me. Didn't help, passport stamps. Had to leave. Came back with fire, all the smoke surrounding me. Yeah. Underboss became the boss. Kobayashi. Origin story to free lunch, baby. Now the love is real. I hope it frees me.
I find the Fairchild tighter and more in line with Tyler's vibes, so I'm sticking with it, but let me know which one you prefer in the comments. And hey, if you're liking this video so far, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't. Now back to the vocal chain. You might have noticed some sibilance in the vocal. Vic didn't mention a DSR, but I believe they used one. In 2019, when Igor was released, the Waves DSR was super popular, so I'm using that to tame the harshness.
But it's something I need to believe. I need to believe. I need to believe.
One effect we mentioned earlier is vocal pitching. We will come back to that later, but on tracks like A Boy Is a Gun, I can hear a clear reverb. On the main take, it sounds like a plate reverb. Pro engineers like Vic use effects on aux channels, and we do exactly that. There are few plate reverb plugins, but I'm using TrueVerb to emulate Tyler's vibe.
Fearless, saved the pain in me. Didn't help, passport stamps. Had to leave. Came back with fire, all the smoke surrounding me. Yeah. Underboss became the boss. Kobayashi. Origin story to free lunch, baby.
We put the vocal in a relatively large room, subtly controlling it with the aux. Now back to the pitched vocals. Vic mentioned the Vitalizer, which is a popular hardware and plugin. I researched the Waves alternative and landed on the Aphex Exciter.
Underboss became the boss. Kobayashi. Origin story to free lunch, baby. Now the love is real. I hope it frees me.
This plugin adds harmonic distortion, so treat it with care. Finally, I done something truly unique with this vocal chain. I've combined two vocal types with macro knobs. This simplifies the process. You can change the whole vocal chain with one knob. I've also added extra knobs for Tyler's different styles and even some to help with home recordings. I played the song now and show you the power of these settings, but if you like the vocal chain, the link is in the description. It's part of the updated hip-hop package, currently heavily discounted, but not for long. Click the link in the description to get the deal. Now let's hear what this vocal chain can do on a home recorded vocal.
Becoming fearless, saved the pain in me. Didn't help, passport stamps. Had to leave. Came back with fire, all the smoke surrounding me. Yeah. Underboss became the boss. Kobayashi. Origin story to free lunch, baby. Now the love is real. Becoming fearless, saved the pain in me. Didn't help, passport stamps. Had to leave. Came back with fire, all the smoke surrounding me. Yeah. Underboss became the boss. Kobayashi. Origin story to free lunch, baby. Now the love is real. I hope it frees me.
But it's something I need to believe. I need to believe. I need to believe.
I hope it frees me. I hope it frees me.